This is lavoncason here, back at it again with another YouTube video. There's been a lot of people saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 is just a PS4, and really the truth is, the Nintendo Switch 2 is in between PS4 and Xbox Series S. The Switch 2 being more closer to the Xbox Series S level than PS4 level, and I'm about to show you here right now that this is pretty much the case. So let's go to this article here. This is from Virtuals, who compares the Switch 2's capability to the Xbox Series S. If you don't know who Virtuals is, they're the people that ported Dark Souls Remastered to the Nintendo Switch. Prolific Port Studio says any 60 FPS Xbox Series S game will easily port to the Nintendo Switch 2. So a technical director basically talks about how the overall GPU capabilities of both consoles are comparable thanks to the Switch 2's use of DLSS upscaling. While Switch 2's CPU is closer to PS4, he said he believes any game shipping at 60 FPS on Series S should easily port to the Switch 2. GPU-wise, the Switch 2 performs slightly below the Series S. This difference is more noticeable in handheld mode, he said. However, the Series S does not support technologies like DLSS, which the Switch 2 does. This makes the GPU capabilities of two consoles comparable overall. CPU-wise, there's a clear distinction between two consoles. The Switch 2 is closer to the PS4 in this respect, having a CPU just a bit more powerful than PS4. Since most games tend to be more GPU bound than CPU bound when well optimized, the impact of this difference largely depends on the specific game and its target's frame rate. So GTA 6, it might be a struggle to get on the Switch 2. He added any game shipping at 60 FPS on the Series S should easily port to the Switch 2. Likewise, a 30 FPS Series S game that's GPU bound should also port well. Games with complex physics, animation, or CPU intensive elements might occur additional challenges in reaching 30 or 60 FPS and require extra optimization they're importing. So pretty much GPU wise, it's more closer to the Xbox Series S, and CPU wise, it's more closer to the PlayStation 4, which pretty much makes me believe, and this is my conclusion, that the Switch 2 is in between the PS4 and the Xbox Series S power wise. So any 60 FPS Series S game should be easy to port on the Nintendo Switch 2. So any 30 FPS GPU bound Series S game should be easy to port to the Nintendo Switch 2. Any CPU bound Series S game will be a bit of a challenge to be ported to the Nintendo Switch 2 because of the fact that the Switch 2 CPU is more closer to the PS4s than the Xbox Series S. So that may require a bit more optimization. But this also confirms, at the end of the day, the Nintendo Switch 2 is not a PlayStation 5. It's not. It's not. It's just not. Nothing more, nothing less. But we did want a more powerful Switch, and we got it. Whether you're satisfied with the specs of the Nintendo Switch 2 and how much of a leap it is from the Switch 1, that's up to you to decide on that. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 is more closer to Series S than the PS4 GPU-wise, and CPU-wise, it's more along the lines of the PS4. So yeah, like I said, Switch 2, power-wise, in between PS4 and Series S. How do you guys feel about that? Are you guys satisfied with the Switch 2, graphical capabilities? Are you guys satisfied where the Switch 2 is power-wise? Let me know in the comment section below this YouTube video. This is lavoncason, sign out, and peace, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.